right, this video is for the class Discovering Pre-Algebra Part 1. This is Worksheet 2-7, where we can make our decimal calculator. I wrote my answers here so that I could have this block to explain them. So go ahead and grade yourself. I'm not going to do this one until after I've done explaining it. So if you get all these right, you can always zoom to the end and I'll give you the explanation. So just pause, take a few minutes to do this. If you're not in the class though, you can always go to the bottom in the description. There will be a link that will take you to this live class on outschool.com and you can watch the class. All right, so I'm going to guess that you paused, you felt good about everything, and you're ready to go. You're ready to see what you may or may not have done wrong. So remember, when I'm multiplying, don't care about lining up place values. 0 times 2 is 0, 0 times 2 is 0. Line up underneath the 1. 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 2 is 2. Add going down. And my number is this, but I have one place value. So put a dot there. So you could have said 22 or 22.0. Remember, it doesn't matter if I put that .0. $22 and $22.00 are still the same amount of money. All right, let's do this times 100 this time. 0 times 2 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. Line up underneath the second 0. 0 times 2 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. Line up underneath the 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Does not matter what we put in to keep those places. Put whatever you want. The answer is 2200, but I need one decimal place. So you could put 220 or 220.0. Very good. All right, the next one is 22, and we're going to take it times 1,000. So 0 and 0, the next 0, 0 and 0, the next 0, 0 and 0, and then the 1, 2 and 2. Put in my x's. So now I have 22000, and I still have one decimal place. So it's 2,200 or 2,200.0. If you're starting to develop a pattern, then pretty cool for you. All right, 0 and 0, next 0, 0 and 0, next 0, 0 and 0. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. So 1, 2, 3, this is the last one. 0 and 0. I'm going to put my placeholders in. That 1 is going to be 2 and a 2. 0, 0, 0, 0, 2, 2. Look at this. Every single time I'm adding another x to my line of x's. And this last one, I put 4, which is the same exact amount of zeros there is in this number. I wonder if that could help us develop a pattern at all. All right, I have one decimal place. So this one is 22,000, or it could be 22,000.0. All right. So 22, and this time, this is ridiculous. I have 100,000. Oh my goodness. This is going to take me forever. Okay. So hopefully by this point you've developed a pattern. Because these x's because we keep pushing that place value over and over and over, it's going to keep creating more and more zeros at the end. More importantly, it's creating the same amount of zeros as there are in our factor number. So in this one, our factor number has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I only need one decimal place because a 2.2 only has one decimal place. And that's how I get 220,000. Okay? You could write it like this, or you could write it like this. And that's the pattern, that a factor of 0, or a factor of 10, I mean, which is 10, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million. Those are all factors of 10. They just move the decimal point over. Why? Because decimals work in a factor of 10. Because they both work, we're multiplying by a factor of 10, decimals work in a factor of 10, it just moves the decimal place because that's how much is held in each one of those decimal places. So this next one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. So I'm going to add 6 zeros to the end of my number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. All right. So, but remember, because we're multiplying, we only put as many decimal places as we do in both our numbers, which is 1. So I have to actually get rid of this decimal, and I only need one decimal place. So I could write that like this, or I could write it with the decimal place in there. All right, the last one in our decimal calculator. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to add 7 zeros to the end of my number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I only should have one decimal place. All right. So what pattern do you see? It's the zeros. It's just moving that decimal place, the amount of zeros in our factor of 10 number. And it's creating really long numbers when it does this. And this is very important because we're going to use this skill when we're dividing decimals. So keep practicing this. This is our decimal calculator. You're going to want to keep it with you in class while we learn decimals. All right, see you in the next class.